Forrest Gump. Wait, no, sorry. Tom Hanks is a highly respected actor in Hollywood, famous for his performance in Forrest Gump,
Life was like a box of chocolates.
one of the most iconic films in American cinema that won a total of 6 Academy Awards. It's a very high regarded achievement to attain, and the only question is, how did Tom Hanks do it? Years before Forrest Gump, he was doing theater plays and comedy genre films, so how did Tom Hanks, who had a total of 4 years of acting in serious drama, manage to pull this off? This video won't focus on how Tom Hanks did it, but also the ingenuity of his craft, because not only did he star in well-loved movies now,
You are a toy!
but also directed some of the most loved films out there. He's not as good looking as Leonardo DiCaprio, nor he is charismatic like Jeff Goldblum, but he's actually very funny since he has experience in multiple comedic sitcoms and films before, with the movie Big being his most successful during his comedic era, with a few honorable mentions such as his role in the film The Money Pit. After this, from 1990 to 1993 is where he starts his transition to drama. This is where we could see a turn, as this decision will be one of the reasons why Tom Hanks' acting career would skyrocket with the film Philadelphia. The film Philadelphia is about a lawyer who unfortunately has contracted AIDS, one of the most advanced viruses that slowly weakens the immune system as time goes on. The film was released in 1993 and had some controversies. Firstly, homosexuality was looked down upon during those times, and the film made mistakes about portraying the severity of AIDS. In the end, Tom Hanks managed to pull it off and win an Academy Award.
So let's talk about what this case is really all about. The general public's hatred, our loathing, our fear of homosexuals.
After Philadelphia is a film considered one of his best works yet, a well-beloved film that a lot of movie enthusiasts enjoy till this day. Tom Hanks himself described this film as a pivotal and transformative moment of his acting career, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is a timeless classic, a film about the life of a man with an IQ of 75, whereas the average IQ of an individual is usually between 90 to 109. The film is significant in American cinema. It portrays some of Americans' history from Elvis Presley, the Civil Rights Movement, to the Vietnam War and anti-war movement. The life of Forrest was difficult yet interesting. Due to his low IQ, a lot of people did call him stupid.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
Tell me something. Are you stupid or something?
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Nonetheless, Forrest lived his life from start to the end of the film with pure innocence with no ulterior motives. Forrest Gump is a masterpiece of a film. It's something that I think people should watch at least once in their life. It's a perfect role for Tom Hanks, as this film balances both comedy and drama. How Tom Hanks managed to pull this amazing feat is purely because of his beautiful craft of acting. To put it simply, he is average. And wait, I'm not saying his acting is average after calling it a beautiful craft. But other than his cliche in films is what they call an everyman. An everyman is a figure that represents an ordinary individual who experiences a common person's struggle. Someone not too extravagant and not too special, and is something within reality. We can't exactly call Tony Stark an everyman, mainly because not everyone is a billionaire genius who can make weaponized suits. There are a lot of everyman in Hollywood. Mark Ruffalo, Steve Carell, Seth Rogen. I could keep mentioning names and it would take ages, but how Tom Hanks is the most everyman from all of the mentioned names is mainly because of the movies he takes part in. He doesn't take movies where he has superpowers, or at least not yet. He also doesn't act like someone that's otherworldly impressive.
This is Tom Hanks saying if you're going to pick a government to trust, why not this one?
He takes a lot of roles that are within the range of what would happen in real life. Down to earth is what you would call it. Humble and realistic. This is not to say that Tom Hanks is the only down-to-earth actor there is in Hollywood, as I'm sure there are a lot. But if we were asked which celebrity is, then Tom Hanks would be up there. The films he starred in after Forrest Gump were masterpiece upon masterpiece, from Saving Private Ryan, The Green Mile, and Castaway, but personally, his most interesting work for me years after Forrest Gump was The Terminal. The Terminal revolves around Victor Navorsky, played by Tom Hanks, who unfortunately is in a case of bad place and a bad time. His home country, Cracovia, a fictional European country, has staged a coup d'etat during his flights to the United States. Due to the international law, this effectively cancels all flights from the country. But he already landed and the coup started while he was in the air, so what happens now? He's not allowed to go outside of the airport or go back to his home country, effectively locking him inside the airport until things get resolved, in which took a long while. The film focuses on how he lived his life inside an airport for 9 months, barely knowing English to communicate. All he has is his luggage and himself. Like Forrest Gump, this film perfectly balances drama and comedy. It's not overstimulating, it's actually very grounded, and in the end we get to see the reason why he had to go to the United States in the first place. It's a very heart-touching film. You get to root for a character that's in a tough situation, and for some reason they managed to work through it. The situation that Victor Navorsky was put in can happen, and it doesn't have to be a coup from your home country. It can be due to problems in documents, visa, travel restrictions, or complex immigration, or just plain bad luck that for some reason you forgot your passport in your bag. This situation happens a lot in real life, such as the case for Mehran Karimi Nasseri, who lost his refugee documents on his way to the UK. He lived in an airport from August 26, 1988 up until July of 2006, an estimate of 18 years inside an airport, all because of a simple mistake. This isn't the only time Tom Hanks worked in a movie that had actually happened. Sully is a film about the crash landing of Flight 1549, a commercial plane that crash landed on the Hudson River back in January of 2009. The film portrays what had happened before, during, and after the crash, and it focuses on the psychological stress of the pilot of the plane, Chesley Sullenberger, or better known as Sully. He himself knows that his decision was the better choice, but as investigation goes on, whether his action to land a commercial plane on the Hudson River was intentional or not makes him doubt himself. This doesn't help the fact that the United States was still traumatized by the events that occurred in September 11 of 2001. Tom Hanks managed to put the audience on edge in this film. If the first two films were a perfect blend of comedy and drama, then this would be just pure historical drama. Chesley Sullenberger, played by Tom Hanks, is hailed a hero after further investigations, but the process was probably the second most stressful part, first being him and his co-pilot landing a 77-ton plane with 150 passengers and 5 crewmates on board on the Hudson River. Till this day, Tom Hanks still works with great movies, with Greyhound, Elvis, and A Man Called Otto. And as of now, his most recent is The Phoenician Scheme. He also voiced some characters in animated films, most famously Woody from the Toy Story franchise and Polar Express. He voiced a lot in Polar Express. He's also really into the history of World War II, like Saving Private Ryan. He also directed the 5th episode in Band of Brothers Crossroads, and more recently Greyhound, and the part 2 of it is in the making. From what I searched up on why he's fascinated in history about World War II is probably because his father was a Navy mechanic in the Pacific during the war, adding to the fact that his fascination to a generation that fought and sacrificed themselves to save future generations. A lot of us grew up watching Tom Hanks, though I may not have watched a majority of his films right after release, mainly because I wasn't born at that time. But I would say I grew up watching a lot of it. I think I've watched Forrest Gump as a kid for like 8 times unironically, but that's nothing compared to the times I've watched The Martian for 17 times, and I genuinely think I have a movie problem. I promise this channel's content won't just be about me yapping about movies, and no, I'm not obsessed with Tom Hanks. I do watch other films growing up like Adam Sandler, a lot of it actually, and Steve Carell, and a whole lot of Jack Black. I chose Tom Hanks because unlike Jack Black, Adam Sandler, and Steve Carell, they kind of lean on comedy more than drama. Though this is not to say that they don't have good drama films. Adam Sandler's Uncut Gem was good, and Steve Carell's film Beautiful Boy, that one is a video on its own. It's a really good film, I think you should watch it. Sorry, back to the point, Tom Hanks doesn't really lean on one genre. He perfectly balances two genres that in paper should be difficult or won't mesh well, and yet they do. And that's the beauty in films. I mean, look at the Scary Movie franchise. It's a comedy and horror? But I guess to be fair, I don't even know if that should be considered horror. Wait, is it? Holy shit, it is. Tom Hanks for me is a national treasure of an actor. If you're ever looking for a film that's not too overstimulating and perfectly balances comedy and drama, then just search up Tom Hanks movies, or rewatch Forrest Gump. Thank you, Tom Hanks, for the movies you worked in, and thank you, random viewer, for watching this video up until this point. I do plan on making more videos, not just about films, but about random stuff I find interesting. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.